Yes, yes, yes. Happy new decade. And I think this one could potentially be the most important one for us humans yet. I'm now 6 months into my world conservation journey, and I'd like to post a quick status update of where I've been, what I've seen, and what I think I've learned so far. So far I've been through Europe, Central and Northern Asia, through the Pacific Islands, Australia, Southeast Asia, and now I'm into Taiwan, ready to take on stage 8 and start heading back west. I think I've been to about 2/3 of the world's countries now. Mad! So the aim of this journey for me was all about learning, and then sharing what I've learned. I want to be a positive voice, shouting from the front line of conservation about the terrible state of our planet's biodiversity, but encourage us all to do whatever we can to save it. I was fortunate to grow up travelling all over the world and witnessing its raw beauty in many remote and rarely visited locations. But I've also simultaneously seen the destruction and disappearance of many of these beautiful places, even in my own short lifetime. And it's only when I read the IPBES Global Assessment for the first time that it all sort of came together and started to really dawn on me just how terrible the situation is and how awful a world would be if we lost those predicted 1 million species in the coming decades. So I set off on these travels to try and understand the situation better and to meet as many people as possible who could give me a greater understanding and better knowledge of what's happening, why it's happening, and what can be done. So I spent time at 25 conservation projects. I spent thousands of hours already chatting with countless amazing people, whether they're experts, communities, NGOs, governments, indigenous peoples, and I've learned loads about so much in so many ridiculously niche areas. Therefore, unsurprisingly, I've learned that this conservation malarkey is well complicated, more so than I ever could have imagined, even with the knowledge I had doing sustainability at uni for 2 years. And I guess if you've watched any of the videos, you'll see I've battled with complexity in all of them. So from what I can gather, this destruction and devastation to our environment, which is plain to see everywhere, is caused by the inappropriate goals, aspirations and values of many.
Got a fridge.
Driven by the greed, corruption and laziness that society promotes.
Straws with oil, that's doubly as bad for turtles.
And the result of this overindulgence in our finite resources, whether it be overfishing, logging, mining for minerals both on land or deep sea, unrelenting agricultural expansion and water extraction, is that it comes back to us, just ruining our own life support systems, and then ultimately ourselves, as well as everything alongside us. And I ask, at what point does this make any sense?
And this is where they've cut away all the phosphates. And this is just what's left. This is what the top of the island looks like. A wasteland. That's not right. That is really not right.
Although general consciousness around this subject is constantly improving, I still believe that we all get fooled into thinking that we have a healthy planet and everything's okay, even when it's not healthy, it's just beautiful. And we're constantly being bombarded with these images and videos of crystal clear waters, beautiful beaches, mountainous lush forests, which just show us beauty. And the reality is, I can assure you that on closer inspection, that blue water off the beach is more than likely home to a coral reef in a state of disrepair. The beach itself is littered in microplastic. Those picturesque fallen palm trees you're walking on is land erosion, probably due to sea level rise. That dense forest may be covered by an invasive weed, strangling the huge trees due to deforestation. And those 3 dolphins in the river could be the last 3 dolphins in the world. And what I'm realising is that there's generally very little wildlife left anywhere. And what there is left is really hard to find. Being underwater now, I'm actually surprised by abundance. And that's the truth, and it makes me so sad. But most of these things currently appear to be the unavoidable consequences of development and economic growth. But out of all the doom and gloom, there is so much incredible work happening all over the globe, which is making so much headway towards reversing these trends. And what I've realised is that wherever there is a problem, there is probably someone or some people giving their all to either stop it happening or to repair what has been lost. So this journey has brought me face to face with these mavericks, who passionately swim against the tide of unsustainable development and indulgence in order to protect, conserve and restore all those things which we love and need. And it's given me so much inspiration and optimism.
This is amazing.
These guys are the champions who need to be put on a pedestal and celebrated. So, looking forward for this year and the decade, 2020 is the UN's Year on Biodiversity, and this year their conferences start with the title Ecological Civilization, Building a Shared Future for All Life on Earth, and that is exactly what we need. But with all odds suggesting that our trajectory will take us to 1 million species extinct, and with what I've been experiencing on the ground echoing this, it's imperative that we all now give our everything to save what we have left, scattered in some of the most breathtaking places on Earth, and to restore what we have broken. Our actions have had consequences, and now our actions need to have more consequences, positive ones. It is our obligation to give back, be that in whatever form. But for me, seeking out these mavericks, those role models, inspirations, and celebrating their missions in the face of total adversity really, is what I'm going to continue to do. Whether they're individuals, NGOs, communities, working on big or small scales, it doesn't matter. These are the amazing people who are giving their lives to make a difference to the cause, and they are our future. So keep it locked. I cannot wait to bring you more and more things that I learn. Ramblings out. And to keep up to date with everything, make sure you give all of these a follow.